Hi, my name's Samuel Hatcher. If you walked into the family room of most modern American homes, what do you think would be the center of attention? Probably a television, also known as a TV. This is not abnormal. TV watching can have a dramatic effect on the overall health and lifespan of adults and children. I've learned a lot about the dangerous effects of excessive television watching for this presentation. Today, I would like to persuade you to minimize the amount of television you watch by informing you of the many reasons television is harmful to children and adults. So, let's begin with the dangerous effects of television on adults. Television can be extremely harmful to adults in many ways. Countless studies have shown this to be true. Researchers have found that those who watched 4 hours or more of television were 80% more likely to die from heart disease and 46% more likely to die from any cause, comparing these to people who watched less than 2 hours of TV per day, and this comes from Health magazine. Researchers also found that each additional hour spent in front of the TV increased the risk of dying from heart disease by 18% and the overall risk of death by 11%, also from Health magazine. I don't know about you, but right now I'm already convinced. It is not the television itself, though, it is the lack of movement. According to David Dunstan, PhD, prolonged television watching equals a lot of sitting, which invariably means there's an absence of muscle movement, Dunstan says. If your muscles stay inactive for too long, it can disrupt your metabolism, he explains, and that also comes from health. Research shows that those who exercise are also at risk. An article from Health states when they compared groups of adults who exercised the same amount but watched varying amounts of TV, those who watched more TV were still at higher risk of dying during the study. This is troubling. Even those who are active and fit can be at risk from the dangers of television. This shows that movement is key. While this affects adults, it's important to remember that lack of movement affects children as well. So now that we've seen the harmful effects of television watching on adults, let's explore the effects on children. Television can be extremely harmful to children in many ways. Many studies have shown this to be the case. Researchers found that a child who watches 3 to 4 hours a day of non educational TV will see about 8,000 small screen murders by the time he or she completes grade school, and that comes from Smith. We as a nation wonder why anxiety in children is so high. Is this why the crime rate is so high? Are our children becoming desensitized to the horrors of these crimes? Another study conducted by the NYU School of Medicine researchers shows that preschool children who frequently watch violent TV programs or play violent video games are 11 times more likely to engage in aggressive and antisocial behavior than children not frequently exposed. These issues can affect these children for their entire lives, and it only gets worse. Watching much violent television can lead to many physical and mental health issues as well as academic issues in children. The American Academy of Pediatrics released an article stating the following. In 1984, the American Academy of Pediatrics issued a statement that cautioned pediatricians and parents about the potential for television to promote violent or aggressive behavior and obesity. The influence of television on early sexual activity, drug and alcohol use and abuse, school performance, and perpetuation of ethnic stereotypes were also stressed. In 1990, the AAP reaffirmed its concerns about the negative effects on television on children and adolescents and provided recommendations to pediatricians and parents for prevention and management of these effects. The American Academy of Pediatrics also states watching a lot of violence on television can lead to hostility, fear, anxiety, depression, nightmares, sleep disturbances, and PTSD, and that comes from Smith's article. Obviously, the effects of television on children can be dramatic. Whether physical, mental, or academic, the issues are not worth it, and steps should be taken to prevent this. Let's look at the opposing viewpoint and why it is an error. Many try to say television can be positive and we should approach it as such. There are many reasons why this viewpoint is an error. So, one quote from Caron: television can teach kids important values and life lessons. While this may be true, the negative physical effects still affect children and can lead to health problems. So, that comes from the lack of muscle movement, as seen in the adult studies. Also, not all television programming is this way. It can be extremely difficult to filter out the negative programming. Another quote from Caron is educational programming can develop young children's socialization and learning skills. These programs may show the children how to perform the skills, but they are just watching, not performing the skill, which television can inhibit. Barbara J. Wilson states in her report the following: Children need emotional skills to form relationships with others. Indeed, the capacity to recognize and interpret emotions in others is a fundamental building block of social competence. Developmental psychologists and media scholars alike have argued that screen media plays a crucial role in children's emotional development. Yet few studies address the larger issue, in part because researchers have given so much empirical attention instead to media's impact on maladaptive or antisocial behaviors. So, in other words, television cannot replace real life interaction. So, seeing how dangerous television can be, I'm sure you want to know what can be done. So, clearly, television is not a harmless form of entertainment. It can harm adults as well as children. Research has proven the dramatic effects on health, physically and mentally, as well as academics. We can act. Less than 2 hours a day of screen time is perfectly fine if the programming is nonviolent and quote unquote clean for children viewers. We can reverse the damage to our society. We must turn off the television and replace that time with healthy activities such as socializing and exercising. Thank you.